How are we supposed to treat you with respect when you antagonize us with every chance that you get? On January 31st, basically, I was summoned that there was someone inquiring about the guest house. I came down to address that, and upon doing so, I realized that it was a young man I'd seen before, though I hadn't recognized his name because he sent his name as Miguel at the time. And he was just about to leave when we noticed the police pulled up, like in a rush, hurriedly, and then they just beckoned to him and said, "You come here," something like that. But about that time, he was walking away to leave. He went out. I don't know what else I said to him, but I noticed he lifted his shirt, and then they walked around him and searched him, and they went in his car and started to search him. Somewhere along that time, I walked towards where they were. I did not intervene. I stood at the garage door, which is the entrance of the bar, and I looked up what they were doing because I was also concerned whether or not the guy looked a bit funny when he came, to be honest, but I couldn't say what it was. I didn't know him to be a wrongdoer. The police, after searching his car, said to me, "Who owns this premises?" I said to them, "Myself." And he said, "Oh, do you know this man?" I said, "Well, I've seen him before," and he came here to ask about room. He didn't accept any of that. He just said to me, "No, we have to see your identity." At this point, he asked me for my ID. I walked off to give him that to him, and that's when he saw the lady's bag, more or less. He was a little bit ahead of me. He saw the lady's bag sitting on one of the sofas in the bar. Other young lady, Lasanya, was sitting there on the sofa as well. When he went to take up the bag, he said something about the bag being the gentleman's bag. So then she said, no, like that. Reached out to the bag and put her hand over the bag and said, no, it's not his bag. And was trying to explain to him that the bag belonged to a guest that was just there. He just didn't communicate well. He just grabbed it and started to sing, swear words. And with such force that his hand hit the television and it almost fell off. So I ran up and I use a swear word as well. And I said, "What kind of policing is this? I don't understand what you're doing." And I said, "Moreover, you're not allowed to search a woman's bag outside of her presence as far as I know the law." Mm-hmm. And that's what she's trying to tell you. He said, "Shut up your mouth. Go over there, so give me your license to the place I get locked down." I called my brother. I waited a little bit for my brother to arrive, which they just lived next door, and they all came together, all of my relatives. So at this, they came, they saw what was happening. I barely explained to them what was happening, but I needed them to come over because I was uncomfortable with his behavior. At this point, I handed him my registration. They were already there, displayed in the bar, but I just took it down at that point and handed it to him. I was standing behind the bar. He was in the front. At this stage, my family moved up to maybe the left of him, and they were all standing there just respecting what he was doing. So at this stage now, he's looked at my documents only fleetingly, packed them all on each other, and I thought he was going to hand them back to me, so my hand was already out like this. But then he started to walk away with it, and I did like that to say, "Where are you going with them?" My sister was right next to him.
He was leaving, and she said, I held on to the thing. I said, "Sir, you can't leave with that, and he grabbed the thing, so like forced it and shoved me, and all this time he kept holding on to, trying to pull his gun or whatever. I don't know what it was, but all I know, my husband and everybody was saying, "You can't lick her, because he wanted to hit me. You can't lick her. I said, "You know what, let me go over to my house because I wanted to get probably properly dressed," since he said, "Everybody I know what to do now, go get locked up. We don't know what we do," so I didn't look right to leave my house. So I said, "Okay, let me go down and get close." That is when he started to tell, "Oh, you can't left to what it, and y'all get locked up, and he was like shoving me. And then my clothes tear off and all of that.
Then he walked off with the paper, so we all walked behind him, recording this. He went, he put it in the back of the car. I wanted to make sure that it's recorded that these are actually my business. So I went to the car, attempted to record them I did touch them within the car. To record that it was there, even to try and get the picture. When my brother said to me, "Don't do that," I stepped back. He come, "Hey, you!" By this stage, the person that was under arrest that actually committed a felony, if you could say that, was just left unaccompanied, and they were just manhandling myself and my family. The only male in my family there was my sister's husband and my brother, who's a pastor, who I called out of his own house to ensure that things would go right. They didn't listen to him. He couldn't get a word in. He was just accosting everyone. Clarendon was really not resisting any arrest, and he was not doing anything to be arrested, in my opinion. He was trying to protect his wife, who was then without clothes, because he grabbed her from behind and whipped her, somehow pull her clothes apart. So he was concerned about that and trying to complain, and he's like, ah, you boy, go in that car. And he was standing there already going, and he just hold him in the back, stick him in the back of the car, like almost ripping his neck off. And I couldn't understand that. And then by this time there's another group of police officers that arrived, and I was like, please, can I talk to someone? Please, can I just talk to someone who understands policing? Is there anyone in control? Because he was erratic. Even the person, he came here with one person next to him. I even offered to the gentleman, I said, please, I have guests within the house. Please don't disturb my business. I'm happy to take you upstairs, both of you, to my camera room so you can see for yourself. This gentleman didn't go any further than the bar itself, so you don't need to search my house. Moreover, I think you should have a search warrant. He then told me he didn't need a search warrant. Some of the policemen, when I asked them, they said, okay, they were willing to come upstairs and have a look. They actually did come upstairs and have a look. It has been recorded where the policeman is even saying, if he was here himself, that would not have happened. Because he could see how many infringements even on the camera from the gentleman. And he came down and tried to reason with him. And then he's like, who not tell me, say, we can't tell me that, and this will not disrespect, man. And man, that's how he spoke to the person that was supposed to be superior to him. And they just stood there dumbfounded, just letting him have his way, just painting a face and gesticulations like someone's attacking him. Nobody attacked him.
My daughter-in-law was outside with my grandson, who was 3 years old, in her hand. She held him in her hand, and I was looking downstairs, and I saw when the policeman wrapped, she had long braids, and he wrapped around his hand on the braid and pulled her by the hair with the child in her hand. I was screaming, oh my God, oh my God. And then afterwards, her hand, she couldn't tell her herself, her hand was like this, and he twisted her arm with the child in her hand still, pulling her to toss her in the van, in the police, so somebody else come and take the child away from her.